Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to go over a bit of Esau's magic, namely what happened during the 2012 London Olympics. Right? A lot of you are going to remember this scene, right? I'm not going to be able to play the video because Esau is really touchy about Olympics, right? He has like a monopoly over that, man, and anything gets put up video-wise, especially, our videos, he's gonna mark that against us. We just got to be a little smart here about it. Now, that being said, right, if a lot of you don't remember, during the the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, they had this weird show, right, come out, and they said that it was for the staff, the medical staff that had saved children from around the throughout all time. Right, and in this video, in the video it shows, or during the ceremony, it showed this huge, ominous, death-like character that looks like Voldemort from Harry Potter, right? Basically, death. And what was this guy doing? This magician. What was he doing? Right? He was, basically putting. He was going after the children of the world, right? And who was there to save them? The nurses. These nurses that were protecting these kids, right? And if you look in the right center panel, what was being portrayed on the stadium itself, what you're seeing in the center is the bottom of the stadium, and like the corners there are like the stands, right? But look at the image that it made, man. It made the C-19 virus, man, right? So let's go and read the caption that I took from this image. It says, "Remember the opening ceremonies of the 2012 London Olympics? Yeah, the one where they erected 13 all-seeing eye pyramids overlooking a global pandemic? That was fun and normal, right? And what they're talking about are these pyramids, these 13 eyes, man. And if you understand your occult history or knowledge, right, you understand that there is 13 main families that basically run this world, right? Those would be Edomite families that took on the title of that people have been calling them, right? The 13 Illuminatic bloodline families, man. But here in the Hebrew Israelite truth, we understand that these devils are really just Edom, right? The nation of Edom, who basically would be called today the so-called Caucasian race. Now, the top 13 families are pretty much the elite 1% of the Caucasian race, right? And they'll sprinkle in, a bit of color here and there amongst their ranks, right? Look at Meghan Markle, man, right? That tear, right? The media pushes her as being a so-called black woman, but when you get into it, her dad's a white guy, right? A so-called Caucasian, another Edomite, right? It's a chocolate-covered Edomite, right? But still, man, now they're starting to put out that bullshit about her being, discriminated against, man. That they're being racist against her, right? Well, these devils, man, they're doing the most to bring out their magic, man. And this is ultimately what's a bit of their magic, which is referred to as revelation of the method, which is where they tell you what they're going to do before they do it, right? And this is so that way when they accomplish what they want to do, that bad karma, as they call it, won't come back upon them, because they basically told you what they're going to do. This is Isaiah 29 and 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Right? And who's that talking about, man? That's talking about these so-called Caucasians, man. These Edomites that are hiding themselves amongst the world population, man. Right? That's why they're pushing that whole Babylonian, Tower of Babel spirit, man, that the whole earth is one. Because what's happening right now, man, are these Edomites, right? At least the top percentage of the Caucasian race that know that they're Edom, right? They're ultimately trying to hide themselves, man, amongst the people, man. This is why they try to always marry into other nations. They try to take other nationalities as their own, right? They've even taken the main character's nationality, the so-called Jews, man. The true, which is the true identity of the Negroes in the world today, man. Right? They've taken they want to be everybody except for themselves, man. When you go through history, man, and some type of documented movie or documentary, the Caucasian people are always every nation, man. They're the Egyptians, they're the Hawaiians, the Japanese, the Mexicans, right? But right when the question about who is Edom, right? That's where you start hearing crickets, man. A bunch of crickets, man. Nobody in the Caucasian race wants to come out, right? And one thing is if you know the Bible, man, you understand that Jacob and Esau, those are pretty much the main characters of the Bible, man, right? Israel, the nation of Israel, right? And the wicked, Edom, right? These are the main characters in the Bible. And what do these devils do? They don't make a single movie about the truth about that. And when they do touch upon the subject, what do? They simply talk about Jacob, right? I think I've only seen a very, like, one or two biblical movies that actually talk or show a character called Esau. And even when they do that, they make that guy look like a hairy Sasquatch, man, right? Or it's ridiculous, man. It's hilarious how these devils, the simple fact that they've have tried to become everybody else. They're a fugitive, man. They are fugitives upon the earth that are running from their judgment, right? And in doing so, they're putting on all the disguises, man. Right? It's like you're chasing after a thief, man, and that thief ducks into a store, man, and then all of a sudden you see this awkwardly walking lady come out, man. Shit, clothes doesn't fit. You got a titty, a lump, sagging down, wearing a hat, a horrible wig, and glasses, and you point up, you're like, hey, you, right? You're like, hey, stop. What happens is that thief, you start seeing it's the thief, right? And the thief starts running off, and then he ducks into another shop, and then he puts on another disguise, and it goes on, and that's ultimately what these Caucasians have done. They have hidden themselves, man, right? And they've managed through their sly deception is to sneak into all the seats of power upon this earth, and now this world has been given onto them, as it says in Job 9:24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and because the earth now belongs to these wicked, these Edomites, right? They are now, pushing through their laws, man, and their way of life, and what the world is seeing right now, right? All this upside down wickedness that's going on is the way that the Edomites want to run the world, man, right? And that means to kill off a lot of you Israelites, you Negro, Latino, Native Indians, man. You guys, if these devils were to get their way, the majority of you, or actually all of you, would be on your way out. We'd all be dead, right? But let's read this. This is Daniel's 8:25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, right? Because that's what these devils deal with, man. They deal with witchcraft, man. Witchcraft of all sorts, man. TV broadcasting, man, hypnotizes the masses. Their law, Babylonian, legalese and shit, man. They trip you up, They get you spun in that serpent's web, or that spider's web of law and stuff, and you get lost in that, man. So, but yeah, so let's continue. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right? And that's ultimately talking about how these Caucasians are going to stand up and literally try to fight against the Lord, right? But in that, ultimately, man, they're going to be destroyed without the Lord even lifting up a finger, man. The Lord's going to destroy them with his immense, beyond all reality power, man. You know, it's going to be out of this world, literally, right? Not of this world, right? The power that the Lord's going to come down with to destroy these Edomites, man. And but what's happening before he does that, man? He has to show the world that these Edomites, man, these Caucasians, so-called Caucasians, that is, because again, that's not even, you know, that's a name that they put on themselves after they fled up to the Caucasus Mountains and came out of there, man. Right? He's got to show the world that these are the devils that the Bible are speaking of, right? And that's one of the prophecies, that the man of perdition would be revealed before the second coming of the Messiah, right? It tells you this in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. It tells you in this prophecy as well. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, right? And what's that talking about, man? The Lord is consuming these devils by the spirit of his mouth, and the spirit of his mouth is us Israelites out there, man, prophesizing, preaching, telling the world the truth of what's going on, man. Realize that there has been no fact checkers until this truth has come out. And why is that? Because they need to lie to tell the world, you know, they basically have to do damage control, man. They have to try to cover up the truth with a bunch of lies, right? And even when you go into a lot of these fact checking, you know, details, a lot of those details are misleading, right? Like they say, oh, this is somewhat true, whatever. See, because they're trying to control the narrative, right? Because they're understanding that they're losing the information war. As Hillary Clinton said, man, says that there's a war on the mind, and we're losing it, right? And that's true, because you can't cover up the truth forever, man. The truth will always come out, right? And especially since it's prophecy that the truth will come out at the end, right? Let's continue. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Right? So what's going to happen, man, is all besides these devils, the ones these Edomites who come out, man, that are pretending to be the God, you know, God sent, you know, redeemers of humanity. They're coming with their vaccinations to save the world, right? They're seeming like angels of light, man, that they are holy and, you know, wonderful, and they want to help us, right? You know, besides them being destroyed, man, the Lord's going to destroy a lot of the wicked 2/3 out there, man, who just won't fall in line, man. He's gonna, and how he's gonna do that? He's gonna let these devils take them out, right? He's gonna let his whipping stick, which are these Edomites, that's why he's ultimately created these devils, right? He says he's created the wicked for the day of evil, right? And that's what he's gonna do, man. He's gonna take out the 2/3 of our people by these Edomites, man. And then once he's done with them, then he's gonna destroy them, man. Let's read this. Revelations 18:23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be hid no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. You see, and that just shows you out there, man, that these devils, these warlocks, man, they're going to deceive the world by their witchcraft, man, by their sorceries, man. And that's ultimately what these devils are doing, man. They're putting a spell on the earth, man. You know, you go talk to your close family members, the ones that, Used to always be at the picnics, the family get-togethers, man. Now I'm sure we all have these people in our family. I know I do. They don't even want to come close to the family anymore, man. They want to stay in their homes. They want to wait till everything blows over because, one, they're being manipulated and deceived by these devils of witchcraft, man. That broadcasting, right? That casting of a spell upon our people. But don't worry, Akim. You know, we're here to let everybody know that the Lord is now making his presence known, right? And these videos, even though you think it's just, you know, little us, you know, just speaking because we're disgruntled Negro, Latino, Native Indians. No, this is the Lord's Spirit being roused up in the earth, man. Right? And because us Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, we are the physical manifestation of the Lord on the earth, man. And we have now woken up. The Lord has put us here as sleeper cells, man, to preach his truth, man. And we're here to tell you devils, man, you Edomites, man, your time is up. And the Lord's going to come back and fuck you up, man, because of all the wickedness that you guys have all done. So, with all that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Ruach Kodash, the one of my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.